What's up, guys? I'm Frankie, and I'm the founder of Fever Media. So I used to take the Amtrak to and from Jersey to Rhode Island, and when I was on train rides, I don't have a good attention span for much else besides listening to sets. So I would listen to my favorite DJs who had radio shows. So I think the one that sticks out right now is Experts Only, John Summit's radio show. And it was kind of in the beginning of when I started DJing myself, and I thought to myself, oh, it would be sick if I could do this, but instead of it being, you know, a massive name producing these episodes, it was just me and my friends, and kind of giving a platform to DJs who at the time were on the same level caliber as me. I wasn't very big. I didn't have many big shows or big opening support dates to my name, but the one thing that me and my friends who also DJ'd had in common was we love the music, and I wanted to listen to them when I was on these train rides. So I hit up one of my graphic designer friends, Lucas, who's responsible for a lot of the early design for Fever Radio. He got to work right away, and I took the idea and I ran with it. It was July of 2023. Fact check me if that's wrong. Yeah, I just hit up every single person I could think of, and I was like, I'm starting this. Do you want to be a part of it? And some people answered, some people didn't. And those first 10 episodes of Fever blew up on SoundCloud, and I haven't stopped since then. So for a while, I was kind of handling everything from obviously reaching out to people to doing the editing, all of the little intricacies behind Fever that people might not think about. And then right around our 1-year anniversary, I asked Justin, DJ Jut, to be my co-owner and kind of help me out. And he got on board. He's been fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better co-owner and partner for Fever. And then right around the same time, I was looking for someone to help me socials-wise. We were recording all of our YouTube videos on a vintage camcorder that it looked like air fryer quality. That's the way I like to put it. But I thought it was charming because I really like the vintage filmy look, and that's what we were rocking with. And then I met Jess. She was a photographer. She's done some video from this area, but she spent a lot of time abroad, and she quickly joined the team, and she's been amazing ever since. Every single project I give her, she crushes it, and I'm so grateful that I have someone who helps me not do air fryer quality videos now, and I think my DJs are also really grateful for that. And then maybe a month or two ago, I realized that TikTok was a big thing, and I'm terrible at TikTok. So I posted an Instagram story, and I was looking for kind of a social media intern of sorts, and that's when I met Miguel, who's also a DJ, and he has crushed it. We've got maybe 2 million collective views now, simply because I found Miguel, and he has crushed every video. He has a really good grasp on the scene, and I never really have to give him direction. He kind of just knows what Fever is, what we look for, and he is incredible at his job. So right now the Fever team consists of me, Jess, Jut, and Miguel. And on top of that, we have a lot of great people and a lot of great venues that have supported us in our journey from Fever Radio to Fever Media, and in the journey of going from just guest mixes and interviews to events and full production shows. So shout out to all those people as well. In 2024, we had, I think it was 75 artists. Before that, I have to estimate I've worked with about 150 DJs, some duos, some just producers, some just DJs. Everyone's been incredible. I have learned so much, and I've built such great connections just from DMing people and saying, hey, do you want to be on my radio show? And I've made friends through that, and it's been great. So I want to say maybe 150. You can also fact check me on that. I'm not sure, but to many, many more. I want to double that in 2025, and we're on a path to working with some really great artists that I, myself as a DJ, looked up to. And the people that when I was starting on the Amtrak, I was like, oh, well, it would be sick if one day we could have X, Y, and Z on the show, and now it's becoming a reality, which is super cool. One mix that I absolutely love, kind of biased because I love my Jersey DJs, Timo, his mix, when I first heard it, my jaw dropped, because I have seen Timo play in a few different kinds of settings. I've been out to the bars in Hoboken where he's played. We had him come do a Sunset Sunday, which was a treat. It was super cool. And I asked him to do a guest mix to pair with the interview we did with him. And I remember I was sitting right here. I had my friends, we were all on the couch, and I got the file and I hit play, and it started with Calling, which is a Jersey DJ staple. One of my favorite tracks to play when I do an EDM show. And then there's a spin back, and it goes, oh, like you thought it was just gonna be basic Jersey DJ shit. No, and he goes into some of the craziest dubstep, rhythm, just insane tracks. Took me by surprise, and it's not always my cup of tea, but it made me so happy that he was playing the music that he loved for our mix. So being able to tell people, which I always do when I reach out to them for a mix, I say, you have complete creative freedom. You can play reverb fart noises for all I care, as long as it's what represents you. So that one sticks out for a recent one. Other than that, I love every mix. People might not think I listen to all of them. I've listened to every single one. I never give notes. It's just whatever rolls with you is cool with me, and there's always gonna be someone out there that loves it. It's always been a big thing for me. I think DJing itself is a pretty male-dominated industry, and I've been lucky enough to have a platform where I can showcase and support other girl DJs like myself. It's been an honor, honestly. We have a rule at Fever where every event we do must have at least one female DJ on the lineup, because you never know what girls in the crowd thinking to themselves, oh man, I wish I could do that, like that's so sick, and they see someone, like them doing it, and they're like, oh, like it's achievable. Because I was the girl that when I was at my college bars would sit there and look at the DJ like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever, like I would love to do that. And I one day decided to just go headfirst into it. So I think that giving a platform to those who have to work a little bit extra harder in this industry is something I don't take lightly, and something I'm honored to be able to do. So as long as I'm here and as long as Fever's kicking, there will be girls in sight, always. In terms of what we have coming up, we have a new series called Battle Stars, which is a face-to-face DJ series. It's debuting in Providence on February 27th with a really, really cool lineup of guys I'm lucky enough to call my friends, but also guys that are gonna crush the set, the situation that we're kind of throwing them into. It was an idea popularized in Europe, and I think that it hasn't fully touched base in the US, but I know it hasn't touched base in New England. So to have the pleasure of bringing something so creative to this area I don't take it lightly. I'm super excited. So on top of that, like I mentioned, I'm interviewing some of my personal favorite artists, and we hope to continue to support foster and give a platform to artists big and small all across the globe, New England specifically, for events. And I'm super excited to see where I am a year from now, where we are. I don't think a lot of people know that I am, in fact, still in college. Fever was started, like I mentioned, on those Amtraks I would take from home to school. I'm a senior now. I graduate in May. So I started Fever when I was a sophomore, junior, around that time. It has fully overtaken my life in the absolute best way. When I'm really passionate about something, it could be literally anything, it will be my number one priority, which is good or bad. You know, my parents might not be the biggest fan of how invested I am 100% of the time. I'm a psych major, so I'll be sitting in cognitive psychology class on Canva editing this week's guest mix and interviews. And I should probably be learning about neurons and dendrites and the myelin sheath, but I am so completely and utterly passionate about Fever and the community, and I pride myself in kind of always being available to whether the artists we work with or my team members. I will stay up late to listen to mixes and make sure everything is looking smooth on socials. I will wake up early if I accidentally didn't post the mix on time so that it's up as soon as possible. I live and breathe Fever, especially now that we do events. I am constantly checking to see who's got a ticket, what's going on with the sales, hitting up new people, just trying to keep growing the community to the beautiful thing that I think and I know it is destined to become. My first Frizzle gig was maybe 3 days after I got my controller. Shout out to the Salve men's lacrosse team who gave me my first ever gig. I played a wedding darty, and I rented speakers. I did the whole shebang. I had like a little laptop stand and everything, and I had no idea how to connect my board to the speakers. So I ended up just giving up. I think I connected via Bluetooth somehow. I think I had Serato at the time. I connected my Serato to a JBL, and it was definitely delayed, but it worked. I get recognized the most by drunk girls in bars when I'm not working. I feel like the one thing I've always said is that I can tell what year of school somebody's in because they'll either call me Frankie or they'll call me Frizzle. So the kids that are, or adults that are my age, know me as Frankie, and then if a girl's coming up to me like, oh my god, Frizzle, whatever, I'm gonna assume she's probably a freshman or a sophomore. But all love to the people that support me at Salve. I mean, I wouldn't be half the Frizzle I am today without the community that has taken me in with open arms. Even when I sucked and I was playing via Bluetooth and a JBL, it's been nothing but love. So I'm very grateful that I have such a great support system. One of my favorite Frizzle stories is my first ever gig on CDJs. I was terrified. My family and I were on vacation the week leading up to the gig. It was at, I was booked in the basement, and I was so excited. I thought that it was like the coolest thing ever. So I'm hyping it up on my story. I got like 25 friends who bought like these $40 tickets. They're so excited to see me. I go to Pirate Studios in New York to practice on CDJs because at the time I think I had a Flex 6. So awesome board, by the way, but I didn't have any CDJ experience. So I'm practicing, whatever. Get to the gig. I played like 12 to 1:30 or something in that realm, and I get in to the booth, and the CDJs were like prehistoric. I'm talking no hot cues. I was a new DJ at the time. There was no sync button, so I shat my pants, not actually, kind of figuratively, and I didn't know what to do. I plugged my USB in. The best part, no beat grids. So here's me, only used to playing on record box and my controller, and I'm like freaking out. By no means was that a good set. It will be a funny story to look back on. That night I thought it was literally the end of the world. A good fever story. Our parties have a lot of inflatables. I always wanted to kind of go the Elro route, where it was confetti and fun and bright and colorful. I thought that the scene needed more lighthearted, kind of fun, quirky parties, and I feel like that's more representative of my personality and what image I wanted to give off. A sex doll came into my possession after I played a show for This Is College at the Strand, and they had, I don't know, they had a bunch of inflatables also, so I ended up coming home with her name was Tiffany. Me and all my friends, usually before a gig, a fever show, we'll get together and we'll blow up all the inflatables. Shout out to all the people who have blown up inflatables with me. It is no easy feat, and I always buy more before every gig, so it's like every time they double. And nobody complains, everybody's awesome. So we're blowing everything up, and then in the corner of my eye, in my living room, where most of the magic happens, I see Tiffany not blown up, and I'm like, oh, inflatable. So we blow her up. We took like 4 cars to the venue. It was Parlor in Newport. And we get there, Tiffany is nowhere to be found. To this day, I have no idea what happened to Tiffany, where she is, who has her, because I know somebody has her. Feel free to come clean. You're being called out. But we did replace her. This is Jenny, and she's Tiffany's replacement. I'm scared to bring Jenny out because I spent $45 on Jenny. So she's gonna stay home until I know that the culprit who took Tiffany is caught. This is a call out. Stay there, Jenny, don't move. I want to first thank my mom for pressuring me into doing an interview myself. Ever since I started the interview, she was like, you should do one, and I was like, no, that's corny. Like they don't need to hear from me. Like, the whole point is everybody else is speaking, and you know, I'm giving them a way to reach a new audience, maybe. So thank you, Mom, because this has been really cool. Thank you to my team, Jut, Jess, Miguel. You guys have taken Fever to a completely new level. It was something that I dreamed of and I could not do by myself, and the help and all of the patience you have with me and my outlandish ideas has been so incredible, and I'm so grateful that we've all teamed up together. There would be no Fever without the incredible team behind me. To all the incredible artists that I've worked with, I am so lucky that people trust me to share their work and their stories, and I'm sorry if I'm annoying asking for personal bios and all that stuff, but I think it's helped me learn a lot as an individual, and to all that you can know about this industry, and hearing stories from other people has been nothing short of inspiring and beneficial to my personal journey as an artist. So major thank you to everybody who has sat in this living room and blown up various animals and whatever I bought that week on Amazon, and the people that put together bubble machines and cotton candy machines and whatever wacky thing I decided to, yes, get on Amazon. So yeah, there would be no Fever without all of the wonderful hands that help out with this vision. And one day, hopefully, I'll be super rich and throwing in a festival and we'll all eat, and that's the goal. I'll never forget all the people that have helped and believed in the vision, because there would be no me and or Fever without all of you wonderful people. And shout out to my dad and my mom and my grandma. My grandma doesn't quite get what I do, she just knows that I have fun.